Wes Craven is a director that needs no introduction, but I'm going to give him one anyway. Wes Craven started directing horror films in the early 70s, and over his nearly 4-decade-long career, cemented himself as a horror legend. His 1984 feature, A Nightmare on Elm Street, spawned one of my favorite slasher series. Its blend of suspense and camp and over-the-top kills hit just the right spot for me, and the same can be said about his later work on the Scream franchise. One film stands apart from his filmography, though. 2 years after the success of A Nightmare on Elm Street, Wes Craven would direct a made-for-TV movie called Casebusters that aired on ABC and the Disney Channel. This 46-minute kid detective movie aired as a segment of the Disney Sunday Movie, an anthology series that basically aired whatever they wanted. Most of the time they played movies, some older animated and live-action features, usually cut down for time, and some original movies created specifically for the program, as was the case with Casebusters. I should also mention that even though Casebusters was a movie originally created to be aired on ABC and broadcast simultaneously on the Disney Channel, it's not technically an official Disney Channel original movie. So if the title or thumbnail says something like, Wes Craven directed a DCOM or something, I didn't technically lie. Wes Craven did direct a movie that originally aired on a TV channel owned by Disney. Now the big question is, why? Why, after such a huge success with A Nightmare on Elm Street, and a filmography that's all violent horror, do you go direct a made-for-TV movie for kids? Honestly, we don't really know. There's not much to be found about how the movie was made. Really, its reputation is only for being the oddity in Wes Craven's career. But we can theorize. Around that time, Craven wanted to step away from the horror genre to prove that that wasn't all he could do, as evidenced by his film Deadly Friend, which came out in the same year. That film was supposed to be a PG-rated sci-fi thriller, but test audiences weren't happy about the lack of graphic violence that Craven was known for, and so the producers had the script rewritten and the film reshot to include more gory death scenes. It's possible he saw Casebusters as an opportunity to do something that couldn't be changed so drastically. Okay, pause. So I've been editing this video for a little bit, and I thought I was kind of onto something about how Wes Craven ended up working on this, but I don't think anything actually came of it. But I'm just going to share it anyway because I think it's kind of interesting. So the lead actor of Deadly Friend was Kristy Swanson, who also happened to be in another Disney Sunday Movies TV movie, Mr. Boogedy. According to this Fangoria magazine article, she finished filming Mr. Boogedy, and then the next day they started shooting Deadly Friend. At least that was her last day on the set. So it would be January 5th, 1986, that Mr. Boogedy wraps, followed by January 6th, Deadly Friend starts shooting. Deadly Friend releases in October, unrelated, and Mr. Boogedy releases April 20th. And then next month, May 25th, Casebusters releases. Now, if we apply the same logic that Casebusters had the same 3.5 month-ish post-production window that Mr. Boogedy had, that means that they would have wrapped filming around early February. So before I went into this, my thought process was we have like a producer or something that maybe saw Kristy Swanson in this and asked Wes Craven if he wanted to do something for the Disney Sunday Movie, and that was before I got the timeline straight on everything, and now it doesn't really make sense. The only interesting thing to come of this was that possibly there was about a month window where Casebusters was finishing production shooting and Deadly Friend was starting production. So I don't know. Can't really find anything about if Wes Craven was like doing double duty working on both or whatnot, but that's, I don't know, something interesting that I found That didn't solve any of my problems. Anyway, enjoy the rest of the video. Whatever the reason was, Casebusters graced the small screen on May 25th, 1986. In its original Disney Sunday movie episode, the film is introduced by then Disney CEO Michael Eisner as Goofy works the sweatshop in his basement. And then the movie begins with a very low-key opening sequence. I see you see me. We're introduced to Sam Donahue, a retired cop who runs an independent security business. His grandkids, Jamie and Allie, are staying at his house while their parents are packing to move into the neighborhood. I think it's funny how this movie portrays Sam's job as being an annoyance for the police because people are calling him instead of them.
Do you think all we have to do is chase after your calls?
I got the call from Mrs. Whitaker nearly 20 minutes ago.
She should have called us.
She's my client.
He takes his job as neighborhood protector very seriously, and believes the police are too caught up in politics to respond quick enough. Where would this hellscape of a town be if not for the constant vigilance of Sam Donahue? Probably have a lot more spoon thieves running around, I'll tell you that much. So once Sam is able to get home to find the kids waiting for him, he leaves about as soon as he came to go on an afternoon patrol. Allie, being a big fan of detective books, wants to go with him, but no fun grandpa says no. Luckily, she'll get her chance at adventure when she and Jamie explore an abandoned house where, from the attic window, they can see the neighbors, the Bonners, being robbed next door. After calling their grandpa, they pursue the thief in a high-speed chase set to the tune of Dare Me by the Pointer Sisters. Or a cover of it, at least. This thief, by the way, parked his car in the driveway of the home he robbed, and stole a single banana and a bag of hot dog buns. Not sure why he decided to steal from some rando's house instead of just shoplifting like a normal wayward teen, but whatever. The next day, Allie and Jamie wait for him to rob the same house again, but are surprised when he shows up at the abandoned house looking for a place to crash. Oddly enough, though, there is something suspicious going on next door. There's a bald guy walking around, and the windows have curtains and sheets. Naturally, Allie blackmails Ski into following the Bonners in his car after they leave.
Listen, our grandpa loaned you money, didn't he?
The kid's name is Ski, by the way. Once they arrive, Ski tries to get a little closer to hear what they're saying by very carefully standing out in the open. Unfortunately, his brilliant plan doesn't work, and he's caught, leaving Jamie and Allie stranded. Naturally, Allie blackmails some guy who is illegally dumping his trash into following them in another high-speed chase.
Do you have a license to dump that trash here?
Of course not.
Then you're an illegal dumper. I'm gonna have to report you. I'm memorizing that license plate right now.
Get in.
After making their way all the way back to the Bonner's house, they execute just about the loudest rescue mission for Ski I've ever heard.
Hi, Ski.
There's scissors over there. He's in the next room. Quiet.
After escaping, they learn of the neighbor's true plot of counterfeiting money and swapping it when the bank moves to a new location that day.
Wow! A real counterfeiting deal!
The bald guy is a security guard who's in on the plan. Ski sneaks into the back of their truck and hides there when they make the trade. Ultimately, that's a pointless move because Jamie, Allie, and their grandpa just follow them in their car anyway. That leads into the third and final high-speed chase set to the tune of Burn Down the Night, also by the Pointer Sisters, and also a cover. This is a very 80s movie, in case it wasn't obvious. Of course, they catch them. The police captain reluctantly thanks Sam and the gang, and Sam hires the kids for his security business. Roll credits. Most of the TV movies that were part of the Disney Sunday movie and all its other iterations were actually TV pilots that didn't get picked up, and this is no exception. There's a bit of groundwork laid in this for a full series, probably more mysteries and whatnot. They buy the abandoned house at the end of the film. I don't know if that's the house their parents move into, or if that would be like their base of operations. Who's to say? Obviously, the big reason I'm talking about this movie Why it's even on Disney Plus at all when so many other Disney Sunday movie films aren't, is because of the director. The idea that Wes Craven directed this makes it an interesting watch, but does it feel like a Wes Craven film? Not especially. Maybe it's just hard to judge because tonally it's so different from his other works. I don't think that's a bad thing. I actually love it when famous people do random small-scale stuff outside of what they're known for, just for the fun of it, but temper your expectations. I really wanted to talk about the movie, but I'm gonna be honest, I had a hard time writing about it because it's just so fine. It's not hilariously bad or a hidden gem or anything like that. It's a competently made family film by a well-respected director. Admittedly, the cast have pretty good chemistry, the music is actually pretty catchy, and there are some moments of suspense that feel slightly more connected to his horror roots, but it never reached the highs of his other works. Also, he didn't write this, and as good of a director as Craven is, I think his writing is what made him a master of horror. His films have, for the most part, always had a strong thematic backbone. There's usually some element of deconstruction, whether it be of relationships, ideas, or genres. Casebusters doesn't really have that. But I've pretty much said my piece. If by some chance you've seen Casebusters, let me know what you think of it. And I'll see you later.
The kids of Elm Street don't know it yet, but something is coming to get them. Nightmare on Elm Street. No! Stop! She's the only one who can stop it. If she fails, no one will survive.
Help me, please!
Wes Craven's Nightmare on Elm Street, rated R.